think the Domino's guy just arrived. Oh, yep. There he is. Not my pizza, but anyway. Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach, and we're going to have a bit of a discussion about structure today. And I'd love to hear how you're structuring your side up. And I'm going to go through mine. Got the laptop here, so I'm just going to waltz through fairly quickly just how I'm structuring up. And it hasn't really changed much throughout the pre-season, but I'd be interested to see how yours is looking. And first up, we'll start with the backline. And I think a lot of it revolves around Doherty. The majority of people are having him. I think that's a no-brainer. So it's sort of what surrounds him. And for me, I've got 3 premium options in front of him on that top line. I've got Daniel, Sicily, Houston. And then I'm rounding it out with some just rookies. Tom Williamson being a slightly more expensive rookie. I think the backline's one of the more interesting lines because there is Hunter Clark, there is Dill Robertson. There are some of those other types that people are looking at. So I'd be really interested to see how many mid-prices you're flowing through around there. I have a fair bit of confidence in the backline premiums, so maybe you're bulking up a little bit more with the Zach Williams on top of that and sort of things. So at that point, I'm going 3 premiums and a mid-pricer, even though Doherty, we know realistically, if he finds his best or anywhere near it, he's going to be a premium. And the midfield, I've gone pretty hard. 5 premiums, then Matty Rowell. Again, the midfield revolves around Rowell. Everyone's going to have him and then different formations around him. And then I've rounded it out with a further 5 rookies. And like I said, gone pretty hard with the midfield premiums. You know, I've got blokes priced at $6.58, $6.37, $6.35, $6.32, and $5.93. You know, Neil, Kelly, Cripps, Dunkley, Oliver. Big guns. I'm going big in the midfield. So, and the ruck division, a lot of people will be going the Gawn and Grundy combination, but I do feel that has sort of changed. I'll just have a suss of Gawn's ownership because I reckon last time I checked it was 38, and it is down to 27. So that's really interesting. And by the looks of it, the likes of Jacobs, Nick Nat hasn't changed much. Patton seems to have a little bit more interest. Marshall, O'Brien. But as you guys well know, I've got Tim English, really keen to see what he does on the weekend or whenever the Dogs play this week or next. And I've locked and loaded Grundy. So I think the ruck division will be slightly different for me to some. Maybe not in the structure, but the fact that English is, I think he's only in about 4% of sides. And the forward line, also extremely interesting. You know, we've got Greenwood, Stevens, Smith, real popular guys. Throw Petrarca in that mix now. He put his hand up for sure. But I think the forward line revolves around Whitfield and Martin. I just think you start them and you build it from there. And for me, I've gone Greenwood at F3, so a mid-price type, but, you know, more of a just needs to take a step to be premium this year, I think. And then we've got Stephen Hill and rounding it out with 4 rookies. So that's how I'm rolling at the moment. And that gives me, you know, in theory, what's that? I think Doherty will be able to remain in the side for the majority of the year. 4, 5 in the midfield, premium in the rucks, that's 10. And certainly 12 with Whitfield and Martin. And if Greenwood can step up and be a premium, I definitely think we can say there are 13 guys that I can keep in my side for the entire year. And, you know, in theory, that means you've just got to make 9 double trades. It always depends how much you can get per trade, but, you know, 9 downgrades, 9 upgrades. We'll be laughing if I can do that. But that's the basic premise. I always reckon it's good if you can start 12 or 13 premiums, you've got a lot less to do in terms of getting 22 premiums, hopefully by around 12, 13, 14, 15, depending how you trade, depending how some of your riskier options go. So let me know how you're structuring up. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little insight into how that's looking. It hasn't really changed at all. If you've watched my other videos, I've had quite a few looks at my team already, so feel free to have a look at those. But that structure really hasn't changed. at the moment, the only thing I'm possibly thinking, if Jack Stephen were to impress and Aiden Bonner impress again, make himself almost irresistible, I'd need to find probably 80, 90k. And if Stephen did impress, then I could part ways with Greenwood down to Stephen and then a rookie up to Bonner, potentially. But again, that's dependent on a bit of pre-season form. So, yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll chat to you soon. Cheers.